Hello and welcome back to Simple English with Alice. In today's lesson, we will be talking about idioms used in the CAE Cambridge English Exam C1 level. Although there are many idioms that we use within the English language, these are some of the top idioms that I recommend that you use within your C1 exam and in general English use. To be able to show that you have a high proficiency of the English language, it is always best that you use idioms, as idioms are used widely across the English language. Although many people may believe that they understand the meaning of each idiom, however, some of them have a completely different meaning compared to the words which are used within the phrase. Let's go over the top idioms that you could use within your exam or in your everyday life. Now let's look at the first idiom. A blessing in disguise. Something which is good that is not recognised at first. Being caught in that traffic jam was a blessing in disguise. If I hadn't missed the flight, I would have been on that plane when it crashed. A chip on your shoulder. Being upset for something that happened in the past. He's always picking up fights with everyone. He seems to have a chip on his shoulder. A leopard can't change his spots. You cannot change who you are. Do you think he'll ever stop lying to us? I doubt it. After all, a leopard never changes its spots. Against the clock. Rushed and short on time. We're working against the clock to get these reports in on time. It doesn't look like we're going to make it. All bark and no bite. When someone is threatening and or aggressive, but not willing to engage in a fight. She always says that she will call the police if we keep playing music after 11 p.m, but she never has. She's all bark and no bite. An arm and a leg. Very expensive, a large amount of money. My friend just bought a new Gucci bag. It must have cost her an arm and a leg. Apple of my eye. Someone who is cherished above all others. His youngest daughter was the apple of his eye. He felt very protective over her. As high as a kite. To feel very happy or excited. After I had passed my exam, I felt as high as a kite for at least a week. At the drop of a hat, willing to do something immediately. People will file lawsuits at the drop of a hat these days. Backseat driver, someone who criticises from the sidelines, much like someone giving unwanted advice from the backseat of a vehicle to the driver. Daisy is such a backseat driver. She needs to stop interfering. No one asked her for her advice. Back to square one. Having to start all over again. If our plan doesn't work, we're back to square one all over again. Back to the drawing board. When an attempt fails and it's time to start over. I agree with him about the need to go back to the drawing board. This idea isn't quite right for this project. Barking up the wrong tree. When an attempt fails and it's time to start all over. Those who suggest that it is possible to save £1 million overnight are barking up the wrong tree. Beating around the bush. Avoid the main topic, not speaking directly about the issue. Stop beating around the bush and say what's on your mind. Bend over backwards. Do whatever it takes to help, willing to do anything. My sister bends over backwards every day at work, but she never gets rewarded for her efforts. Between a rock and a hard place, stuck between two very bad options or situations. I'd really like to help you, but I'm afraid I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment. Bite off more than you can chew. To take on a task that is way too big. We bit off more than we can chew in our original proposal. Bite your tongue. To avoid talking. I wanted to tell him exactly what I thought of him, but I had to bite my tongue. Blood is thicker than water. The family bond is closer than anything else. I love my boyfriend, but blood is thicker than water. Blue moon, a rare event or occurrence. I saw Sarah yesterday. That only ever happens once in a blue moon. Break a leg, a superstitious way to say good luck without saying good luck, but rather the opposite. I'm sure the show will go great. Don't forget to break a leg. Chip on his shoulder, angry today about something that occurred in the past. She's not going to make any friends if she walks around with a chip on her shoulder like that. Crack someone up, to make someone laugh. Fred cracked me up the other day. He told one of the funniest jokes I've ever heard. Dark horse, one who was previously unknown and is now prominent. Anna is such a dark horse. I didn't realise she had published a book. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Don't rely on it until you're sure of it. She wanted to buy a dress in case someone asked her to the dance, but I told her not to count her chickens before they hatched. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your resources in one possibility. Mr. Tan's financial advisor urged him to be careful and not put all of his eggs in one basket by investing all of his money on stocks. Drastic times call for drastic measures. When you are extremely desperate, you need to take extremely desperate actions. After Johnny's third accident, his father confiscated his car. Drastic times call for drastic measures. Drive someone up the wall, to irritate or annoy someone very much. Jane's children were driving her up the wall throughout the summer holidays. Every cloud has a silver lining. Be optimistic, even difficult times will lead to better days. I found a new job after all, and I like this one much better than the last. You see, every cloud has a silver lining. Finding your feet. To become more comfortable in whatever you are doing. I've recently moved to Italy, but I'm still trying to find my feet. The lifestyle is just so much different. Now, there are different ways that you can practice these idioms. I would suggest writing some examples using them. Maybe write 2 or 3 examples for each idiom. Practice saying these idioms which you have written. You could record yourself saying these idioms. Or ask a friend or a family member if they wouldn't mind practicing with you. This way you could both learn it together. If you enjoyed this type of video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. I will be bringing out another video with even more idioms that you can learn. Once we have covered all of the top idioms at C1 level, I will be bringing out a video with exercises for you to help practice these idioms and the meaning. That is the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the video.